Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Lunch with Lisa. I am Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing, the book that I wrote after I healed myself from cancer naturally without using the medical model. And today I want to talk about how that happened and how the solution is not what we think it is. The solution to every problem is you. You, or me, as the case may be. The self, who we actually are, the soul. We are souls in physical bodies. We've heard that many, many times. It's not a new concept, right? But we have also been taught that we have a soul. We don't have a soul, we are the soul. Now, this concept, this distinction had me spinning in circles for years, trying to ascend to my soul, trying to figure out how to get to my soul. Until finally one day I realized I am the soul right here, right now. And so are you. However, as the soul, we have been conditioned by the external world to think. We have been conditioned that the world is the way it is, and that we somehow have to fit ourselves into the pre-existing reality. And as we try to fit ourselves into the pre-existing reality, which, by the way, isn't particularly palatable, if you haven't noticed recently, for years and years and years, the reality around us is all about fighting and battling and paying our taxes and getting a job and earning a living, when clearly we are already living. We have already earned our spot. We have been given a body so that we can have this physical experience. There's nothing left to earn. That had me messed up for a really long time, but I digress. So when I found myself facing cancer, I needed a permanent solution. I didn't want to go the pre-paved medical route because I saw where that route led. Basically, it led down a pre-paved pathway. Some people came out the other side and some people came out the other side. And either side, if you came out on the non-physical side, well, the physical life was done and there's your solution. Back to the soul. However, if you come out and your body actually heals, they keep you coming back to look for more. They want you to look for it to come back again. You go into remission, which actually means atonement for a sin, or payment for a service, payment for a sin. And I didn't want that. I wanted cancer gone from my reality forever. I didn't want to ever have to find myself in this position ever again. So I decided that I was going to go a completely different route. And I knew instinctively that that route was the route back to me, back to my soul. How did I know that? Well, when I was a really, really little girl, 2 and 3 years old, when I would go to bed at night, I would lay in my bed and I would just float. I would become non-physical. My physical body would be laying in the bed, but I would be floating. I would find myself floating in space, looking at the earth from space. And this space wasn't dead. His face was filled with unconditional love. It was filled with life force energy. And I knew that this space is the space of being. It's the space that is eternal. It is everlasting. It always is there. It's there, right now, right here, right now. And this space is the source of all that is. This non-physical space is the space that births all things physical. When I would be in that space, I could look at the earth. I could see the round ball floating in the space of being. And I could also zoom in and I could see humanity. I could see the suffering. I could see the wars that were being waged. I could see the amnesia. I could see people walking around devoid of their soul, having no awareness of their grandness. In that space where I was, everything is just fine. There are no problems. And that's our natural state of being. But when I looked at the earth, there are all kinds of problems here because we have forgotten who we actually are. We have been convinced by this world that we're mere mortals because we have a body. We're not mere mortals. We are grand, infinite souls. We are beings of light and love. It's who we are. And as beings of light and love, trying to fit ourselves into a world of despair and destruction and war and poverty, and it doesn't work. We're not meant to fit in to a dysfunctional, dystopian reality. But we do our best to try to follow the rules, to try to do what our mom says. Listen to your mom, listen to your dad, listen to your teacher, listen to your preacher, listen to the tax man, listen to the doctors, listen to the government. Never at any time are we taught to listen to ourselves. We're simply told what to do as children. And even when what we're told to do doesn't feel right, our inner guidance says this isn't right. But as children, we don't have the ability to say no in an effective manner. When I was a little girl, having these mystical, so to speak, experiences, I don't think they're mystical at all. They're just what is. But I knew that the school was where you went to get programmed. I never wanted to go to school. But this is where all of this starts. They tell you, we learn what to think, when to, and even when to think it. We are taught how to think, when to think, where to think. Go to school now. You're going to be in school from 8 to 3. And at 8 o'clock, you're going to think homeroom thoughts. Then at 8:30, you're going to think English thoughts. Then 9:30, you're going to think math thoughts. You're going to think English thoughts in this room, and you're going to think math thoughts in that room. And we're just simply programmed to think. But as the soul, we don't need to think. We're simply tapped into the wisdom of the universe. Anything we want to know, we just simply ask and then become aware of the answer. This is what's actually natural and normal for us. But this mind that we have has driven a wedge in between who we think we are and who we actually are. All of the rules that we have been taught that we have to follow because this is the way it is, separate us from our natural inner knowing. They separate us from our natural peace and ease, from the love that we are. We've all heard that love is the answer. Well, it's because that is who and what we are. So when I found myself facing cancer and my body was painful, it was displaying all of these lumps and bumps and symptoms, and it was scary. And I knew that the SOULution was me. I needed to clear out all of the stuff, all of the ideas, all of the false premises of self. I needed to stop being the false self, the one who felt unworthy, the one who felt like I just couldn't get it together, the one who didn't understand money, the one who didn't understand why we were all being made to go get a job so we could earn a living on this planet that freely gives all the things that we need to live beautiful lives. This Mother Earth gives us all the food we need, gives us trees and resources for food, shelter, clothing for free. But all of that has been twisted and distorted. So now all the stuff that is free, now we have to pay for all of it. And we pay for it not only with money, but we pay for it with our lives. We give up our natural state of being. So my route to healing was to start clearing out all of the false beliefs that had me suffering. All of the beliefs that there was something wrong with my body. I just assumed that there was something wrong with my body because it was displaying all of these things. And it was really, really painful and uncomfortable. But I decided to sit quietly and meditate every single day until I got the answer. And it took far, far, far longer than it needed to. However, the answer did come. And it came in a flash of awareness. Suddenly, when I got my mind quiet enough, my higher wisdom just popped in, and I could see clearly that my body was responding to my emotional distress. And my body was actually trying to help me. It was clear in that moment that my body was not being attacked by some disease. And neither is yours, neither is anybody else's, even though that's the story that we're told. And we just assume that it's real. It's a story that is forced down our throats every day by the media, by commercials on TV. Ask your doctor. There's a pill for that. Oh, big, scary virus going around. You're going to get sick. You're going to get sick. You're going to get sick. Why? The only reason that we fall out of balance physically is because we are out of balance with our soul. We are living as the false self. And our bodies, our dear, sweet, amazing bodies are literally trying to show us the beliefs that we're carrying that are false. Our bodies are the barometer. They are showing us the split between the mind and the soul. It is showing us where the mind has gone off track and is believing thoughts that are not true. Our bodies are showing us where we are causing our own suffering. There's nothing wrong with your body or anybody else's body. Our bodies are literally trying to help us. Our bodies are doing exactly what it is they need to do to stay alive. They are trying to keep us alive for as long as possible to help us get over these false beliefs, to help us come back into alignment with our soul. Our bodies speak a specific language, and we've never been taught the language. The language is this: every single body part, your brain, your skin, your eyes, your sinuses, your teeth, your tongue, every single body part plays a role in your life. And every single body part, just as the eyes have a different function than the teeth, that have a different function from the lungs, which have a different function from the skin, every part of your body is a reflection of a part of yourself. And this is scientifically verified. You know, this isn't just me on some woo-woo, airy-fairy theory. This is actual science. And when we start thinking thoughts in our noggin here, the brain, we have an unexpected shock in life. Whoa, like we just gotten hit upside the head with a baseball bat of, here's a pink slip, don't come back to work. You know, here's a tax bill. This one will be fun for you. Like whatever that is, whatever knocks us out of the love that we are, starts a process in our bodies. For years, I had hip problems. It was painful to walk. And the reason that my hips were giving me problems, quote unquote, where my hips were showing me that I was carrying a load that was not mine. I was carrying a burden that I was not meant to carry. We're not meant to carry burdens. We're not meant to suffer in this life. And my hips were doing me the favor of showing me where I needed to look to clear out this burden that I didn't need to be carrying. It was showing me where I needed to come back into the ease and the wealth of my soul, of the wealth that is available to all of us 24/7. All the health we could possibly need, all the wealth we could possibly need, all the love we could possibly need, all the relationships we could possibly need. Anything we need is available to us. We simply need to ask and then be open and expect to receive. This is literally how the universe is set up. Ask and it is given. That's the law, universal law. But we've never been taught. So when I was finally able to see beyond my fear of cancer and to see that my body was really trying to help me the entire time, I became completely aware that I had stopped trusting my body. I had started resenting my body. for feeling pain, for being out of shape. After I grew up as a healthy, fit athlete, I went from a size 8 to a size 16 in the course of like 6 or 7 years because I was so unhappy. The weight, that happens when we feel uncomfortable in our own skin, when we feel like a fish out of water. It's not all just about eating. It's about how we feel about ourselves. And I was so far off track from who I actually am. I felt about this big. My self-worth was rock bottom. And my body was showing me, you're bigger than this. You don't need to play these games anymore. It was asking me to remember who I am. As soon as I started to realize that my body is literally my best friend, my body is literally here to support me 24/7. My body is always looking out for me. My body is always doing exactly what it's designed to do in every moment of every day. Each and every one of us, our bodies are functioning exactly the way they're designed to function. We've never been taught how they're designed to function. And our bodies will restore themselves. They are designed to heal themselves, to rejuvenate themselves, to regenerate themselves, and to restore themselves to blueprint. But we have to flip our consciousness. We have to start seeing ourselves as who we truly are, as the souls, the grand and glorious infinite beings of light, non-physical beings, animating physical bodies. The non-physical stuff, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, ideas, dreams, air, sunlight. There's far more that is non-physical than there is physical. Our consciousness is non-physical. Source is non-physical. Everything in the physical comes from the non-physical. When we start to see that we are not physical beings, but we are these grand and glorious souls, and start to recognize your own beauty, start to recognize your own brilliance, your own light. We are beings of light. There's far more of the light spectrum that we cannot see with these physical eyes. There's light everywhere that we can't see, even in the dark. There is light that we can't see with our eyes. And we are that light. But when we believe that we're not good enough, that we're not strong enough, that we're not smart enough, that we're not fast enough or pretty enough or blah, 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 we dim our light. And we start living as less than our natural brilliance. And we suffer when we turn down our dimmer switch. But the good news is that we can all turn that dimmer switch right back up. We can get our light shining again. We have to just simply notice who we are and cut through all the programming that we have received. And it's actually far, far, far simpler than it has ever been made out to be. Part of my soul's purpose on this planet, which I'm finally figuring out, is I am here to help create a direct pathway back to the soul. My pathway back has been long and winding road with many, many dead ends and many, many pit stops and falling down the rabbit holes. But every time it's like, oh, this would have been way faster. Oh, this would have been way faster. So far I have been building a very direct route back into the soul. And this is where all of the SOULutions are. Every answer to every question. is right inside you. You don't need a doctor. You don't need a healer. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need the government. You don't need any of these other people to tell you what's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have to see that. You have to realize who you actually are. If you would like help clearing out the programming in some really simple, quick, empowering ways, please reach out to me. My website is connectingyoutoyou.com. Connecting who you think you are to who you actually are, to the grand and glorious soul you truly are. You're here to shine your light. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to live in fear. You are here to be the light of the world. Thank you for joining me. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week by shining your light. Have a great week, everyone.